Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the little Citroen C3. I know I keep getting this wrong actually. Quite a few people in the comments said this is actually a C3 air cross rob, so it's a little bit bigger than a normal C3. I'm not too sure. I know they do one very similar to this called the Cactus, don't they? And it has like all of the plastic in the doors down there where this has the indentations. But apparently it is an air cross. I do need to have a look on the logbook really, because I'm not calling it what it is. So in the last video, first off, we bought this one from Copart, bought it blind, no keys, no information about it. All there was the damage in this corner. Chris made light work of that and repaired it all. We managed to get all of the parts in one place, had the wheel refurbished, nice new tyre, and this one is up on the button, now running and driving. So the last job to do before it goes to paint is actually the airbag kit. Quite a lot of people always say, this is a crazy design, why don't they manufacture them where it has a piece that actually blows out? And there is still cars out there that do that, but unfortunately there's quite a lot that don't. So when these airbags do go off, it actually destroys the dashboard there and it pops up, and it does always break the windscreen. Which brings me on to the next little bit that was in the comment section of the last video. Yeah, why didn't you calibrate that windscreen, that sensor, after Liam put the windscreen in? And the answer to that was, guys, there was no drive shaft in there. And of course, you can't drive the car up the road with the airbag hanging out like that. So once the car is complete, Liam will come out and actually drive the car, calibrate the camera, and it will be all singing and all dancing. So no waffle, because I'll need to get on this before that sun comes out, because we've got a really hot day according to the weatherman. So I want to try and get as much of this done as I can before it gets too hot. So I'm going to do quite a bit off camera, go around, take a load of screws out, remove a load of stuff, and actually get down to the bare bones of it. And then we'll have a cut in and have a look at how difficult it was and how difficult it is to put the new one in. Let's crack on. We wanted to crack on with this one as quickly as we could and actually get it done. So we bought a complete airbag kit from the airbag team. We used them in the Audi video and had all the airbags reset. This is actually a used set, so this one hasn't been reset. It's actually out of a damaged car where the airbags didn't deploy, so it would have been hitting the side or the back. And basically, always a good idea to actually lay your new dash out, especially when you haven't done one in this particular car before. And I have not done one in a C3, and it does show you where the hooks are that hold it into the car, and also you can see where all the screws are. So you can see that these panels have been removed out of here, and your screws are behind these panels. So it just gives you a bit of a base idea of where to start and actually what to remove in order to get it out, because ultimately everything you remove from the other dash has got to go into this one anyway. So let's crack on with it. So far, guys, very simple. Everything is just push fit, clipped in. So you'll see I took the lever out and then took the red insert out. There's some little covers on the side of here for the screen. There's a little cover that goes around the steering column here. The light switches, again, all push fit. Underneath here, this panel, all push fit. It all just pulls out. I'll just show you. Wrong button there. You can see there, they just push fit, little clips on them, all held together. So very straightforward. I am just going to move straight on and start taking a load of the screws out. It's going to make sense for me to just get on and do that. But you can see quite a lot of the screws here that's holding it. All these air vents, all of this air ducting system is not actually on that new dash. So we'll have to turn this one upside down and actually fit all of that to that dashboard before it goes back in. let's get on and get a load of these screws undone and actually get the glove box, screen, etc. all removed. So guys, you can actually see that got a little bit more in depth than I was actually expecting. That was actually a nightmare to get out. That was so difficult, tight and awkward to actually remove. It was unbelievable. So I've now got it out on the floor. I've already removed this section from this dash and moved it over to this one, put the screws in. But as you can see, the dash kit that we've got, there's quite a lot of screws actually removed from there, and they don't actually need to be removed. So I am going to take them all out of this dashboard, swap them all over, and then start the process of putting that back in. But yeah, very difficult, to the point where I actually I cut the passenger airbag, removed it just to see where it was holding, and there is a couple of nice hidden little bolts there. There's a hook in the center that holds it in, and of course another one over there. You're not going to see every screw until you actually do pull on it a little bit, and then you'll get a feel of where they are. But it's out now, we're not going to complain about it. Let's get all these screws swapped over and actually start putting this one back together. But it is very, very warm out here today. We won't have no complaints about that though. Let's get on with it. Right, pretty much there with it. Still got the seat belts to do. That one is locked solid, and that one, obviously there was only one occupant in the car when it crashed. We're all struggling today, I must admit. I'm boiling out here, and Chris is in there working on that Discovery, and he's feeling the same. But you would have watched that video previously. Managed to get the driver's airbag out, and guys, we got exactly the same problem there. Slightly melted. You can't take a chance with stuff like this. It's got to be replaced. So in the morning, I'm actually gonna whip over to Sheppey Salvage, because they do loads of Citroen and Peugeot vans. I'm hoping they're the same. This one, see, this is the one that come with it, and rather than solder it on, I actually took the cap off, and there's bits of the old cap down here. You can see it's there, how bad it is. I've actually put that one on, but I said to Chris, I'm not even sure I want to risk that, because the pins on it were quite badly burnt. So I'm probably just going to grab one of those in the morning as well, and this will be very, very easy to button up the glove box side of it. And we also think that, see that go, let me hold this still, that column's locked, guys. There is a little bit of an issue with that, so we're probably going to have to order up a column for it, or have a look into why that one's got some movement in it. But I should think due to but then that was minor impact, wasn't it? Was it the airbag that caused it? We don't know. So again, that's something we're going to have to look into. But I'm not going to be able to get over to the breakers now until the morning, so we'll be back in the morning. And abracadabra, guys, just like that. So the sun's right on that. Two nice new plugs. You can see all the old ones are down here. So I managed to get a whole loom for the steering wheel, and that one there has had to have a new plug soldered on it. So I can continue on there and get the rest of this back together, and then we can move on to those seat belts. But this passenger one, it's going to be quite hard to do. You can hear how tight that is, guys. I'm actually going to have to remove the seat from the car in order to take a bit of tension off of it, so that I can actually get it undone. Right, let's get all this buttoned up. Definitely will go down as one of the most challenging to date, guys. Definitely, it just really was awkward to do. But that is the glove box, all back in there. Fuse box covers all back in. All of the screws are back in this dash. But we've got, it's in that door panel, we got one screw left over. And I know for a fact that it wasn't out of this car, because I picked it up down there on the floor and it was rattling around inside this dashboard. And if you remember early in the video, when this dashboard was actually upside down, all of the screws all the way around for all of the air vents had actually been removed. So a couple of them had dropped in there. I shook it, I'm sure two come out, but there's only one extra, so hopefully there was only that one. So that is it, all back together. I've tested everything, everything's working. We do need to get a little look at this steering column. I'm probably just going to order one up for it, but I have placed the driver's airbag on there because ultimately that's the safest place for it, on the steering wheel where it belongs. It's not going to get scratched or laying around, because I'm going to have to pop it off when I change the column or put the parts on. I mean, this is going to be a bit of research that we do in the background, but now we've got to get on, do the seat belts, and that should be jobs are good 'un. So finally, guys, safe to drive. Seat belts all fitted, and do you know what? They was a piece of cake, which was nice because it made the job that little bit easier and a little bit less to moan about, so to speak. So what I've actually done is just run in. I just had a quick bit of a chat with Chris. In fact, sorry guys, I'm just going to open some windows because it's really, really hot in here. What I've done is plugged our scanner into it, and I've actually turned the passenger airbag off there. And what I'm going to do, because we've had a bit of luck, haven't we, in the past with the crash data with this new computer, with this Autel. So what I'm actually going to do is plug it in and try and clear that crash data. And if for any reason that doesn't work, even though I've put all the centre console back together, I mean, it's quite simple. You just pull this out, pull this cover out, and the actual airbag module's right there. So I can whip that out and run it up to our friend up in Gillingham, and he'll reset that, no problem. But as I say, there's no point doing that if we can do it with our computer, is there? So let's give that a little go. So after all that, about 10 minutes there, I was just going through everything and individually, one at a time, just resetting everything. But you can see the test is complete there, 100%. And built-in system interface, I will just show you what that says actually. It says a horn fault, and I'm not pushing it hard enough, am I? Sorry guys, a bit on dial-up. Okay, trouble codes. So horn fault, circuit open or short to positive, error information lost. And when you push the horn, I'll actually do it, you'll hear it. You can hear the relay clicking there. So there's a good chance we haven't got it, a bit zoomed in for, there's a good chance we haven't got it plugged in up front. And the airbags, I did try and reset it, but it wasn't having none of it. It just said there's still a fault showing with the system. So what I'll do is just whip that out and take it up for him. He's so reasonably priced anyway. I probably charged 30 or 40 pound to do that. So like I said, it's just literally remove this again. I will just quickly show you. And then this section here comes out, and you can see it right there. So I'll get to the bolts, undo it and slide that out. Guys, I know quite a lot of you do always ask. We've got here with it. It's 82 Milton. It's not 82, is it? It's 22 Milton Road. I've just dropped it off here. He's literally going to be, he said 5 minutes and he'll bring it outside all done. We knocked off a bit early today with the heat, so give me an excuse to go home, have a shower, take the car out for a nice drive here to get this reset. So the next morning, he's such a lovely chap, that guy. I was waiting out there about 5 minutes, and then he come walking out with that and the invoice, and it was £35. While I was there, I was just about to pull away, and the postman pulled up, and he had boxes and boxes for the postman. So obviously he does do it through the post as well. I think some of you have actually used him through the post before, because you've dropped it in the comments. But let's now get that fitted. It was 3 little 10 mils, 2 plugs, and the centre console. 2 little star drives, 1 13mm at the back. It come out in a minute. So let's get that fitted in there, and hopefully now we got no airbag fault. So guys, a little bit of a fail there. Not a lot, only a little bit of a fail. The SOS light is actually flashing, and it did say something about the backup battery. So if it's got SOS, it's going to have a backup battery in it somewhere. So I need to locate that and get that battery changed. If you remember in the Mercedes GLA as well, it was gone, and it was something like £80 for a new one. But Chris looked at the part number and found one at Tool Station, an house alarm battery, identical, cost us about £9, and we fitted it. So we'll try and do something on that. That's the first problem, and it does come up with a warning on here about that SOS. The second problem is, if our mobile phone was connected to this via Bluetooth, this would probably actually call the emergency services, possibly. So we need to get that sorted. The other thing is, I've got that all back together. That's back in there. But as you can see, we have still got an airbag light. So I plugged it in, run through, and it's still coming up with 2 faults. And I thought, what is that? And it said safety belt pretensioners. But I've done the seat belts. We bought the kit. Obviously, when I've rung up and ordered the kit, I've said I want dashboard and a pair of seat belts for it. I can't believe I didn't notice this, guys. Back seat belts are lock solid. Middle one's not, but you can see how tight that's pulling on there. So really, well, there's no way around it. The back seat belts have got to come out, and they've got to go off to airbag team and be done. We have got 2 seat belts that we're sending out to them anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna have to whip these ones out and send them off to the airbag team, get them done. The module's all reset, everything else is done, so nothing more I can do. It does need to go off for paint, doesn't it, on that front wing and the corner of the bumper. I've got it running because I've got the aircon on. So we need the corner of the bumper painting, the front wing, and of course the seal there as well. So I'll probably include that in that video. I called that a fail there, and it's not really a fail, is it? That airbag kit was difficult. The dashboard was difficult. And I know earlier on in the video, I made sure I told you how difficult it was. There was that 1 screw left over that actually fell out the top of the dashboard, which is nice. When you're doing an airbag kit, you don't want any bolts left over. You don't want any bolts left over when you're doing anything, but the airbag kit in particular, it is a safety item. You don't want any of that failing. If that car's involved in an accident again, you need them airbags to do what they're designed to do, and that is go off again without any problems or any pieces of plastic flying off. So really, really happy with that. I said it's a fail, and that's purely because I wanted the airbag light off in this video. I wanted every light off, so it literally had to go to paint. But as usual, like with any job, little things crop up and mistakes happen where I've missed them rear seat belts. But it is what it is, and all you can do is actually send them off, get them done, and we get them turned around. We're actually sending off rather the 2 seat belts for the Audi A1. So I mean, I'm not going to get into that too much, but there's a video very, very soon on that, and hopefully it is the completed video. I still do keep seeing a few messages about the Range Rover Sport that's in the yard. What's going on with it? We've done no more to that car since the last video we did on it. So, and there won't be another video until we've sort of come up with a resolution for it, i.e. when me and Chris get 5 minutes, we'll be doing a few bits on it, just trying to pinpoint whether it definitely is that fuel pump, because we don't want to pull the trigger and put a fuel pump in it if that is genuinely not the problem. So we're slowly but surely getting through them. The Audi Q2 sold, the Berlingo van sold, the Berlingo XTR is sold. I can pretty much tell you everything is sold. The little black Fiestas at the paint shop, that's going to be coming back very soon, and that should be done. I hope that gives you a bit of an update of the ongoing projects, because there's not really any more to update on. Don't forget, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks throughout the day. And of course, if you've got a damaged car or a car with faults that you want to sell us, you can private message us on there with your telephone number. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you all very, very soon in the next one.